Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away and it's a brand new week, and what a week this is going to be because I'm off to WonderFest this week. So videos are going to be a little bit sporadic, but I thought we'll start the week by doing pack 5 of the Agora Models release and build the Orca from Jaws. So as you can see, I have been working on the mast, and I believe today we're going to be finishing the mast, and then we're actually going to be starting to do the forward bow section of the boat. So hopefully we will find out together. I haven't actually opened it yet, so I've got it down here ready to do. We'll see what we're going to be doing. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. We do have the QR code on the screen. Stay tuned to the end so I can let you know what's been going on this week and the nightmare that I've had this weekend. Corby lost internet, the whole of Corby, which has never happened. That's really thrown me out, which is why this morning, I don't know if you can see the clock there, it's 10 to 5 in the morning because I really do need to get ahead, but we'll talk about that later on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, another big box, and I haven't actually opened this box at all, so we're going to do that now and I will show you what we've got. Again, 1/16 scale Orca. All the front sections there that we're going to be doing, and a lot of big pieces in this one as well, including some electric lights here. But we are going to be starting by finishing the mast. So this is going to be the first tray that we need because we've got the weather vane here that we're going to need to put in first. Again, crawling my hands through here, which stops everything pinging out like that. And here is the weather vane. We're going to need that, and I'm also going to need this pin, which is going to actually go through this, so it doesn't go through all the way, just enough like that. And as you can see, we've got the ball section underneath. Now on the other side here, I've got this bracket which looks like that, and we're going to need to glue this into place. Now obviously we want this weather vane to spin, so I'm just putting glue just on the end here, nowhere near where this is going, so that this still can spin like that. Now even though we've got the flag here, I am eventually going to be changing this because my good friend Philip Siegel from Spruverse gave me a technique to use with the bottle tops of wine bottles, the foil. Basically take the foil off of those, cut it in flag shape, paint it white, and then I will try and get some decals here for these sharks. It'll just give the flag a little bit more of a waving effect, but I will demonstrate that another time for you. What I do need to do is just peel off the adhesive on the back here, and then make sure this is on the right way round. And this will go just there, and then I want to match this perfectly, just like that. I've then got this point which is going to go on the top of the mast. What this actually is, it's going to hold all the rigging points together. So this is just going to slip over the top, just like that there. We do need to glue this, otherwise it's going to keep moving. And there you go, that's that in place. And then all we need to do is just put some glue just down the end of the mast here, because that is now going to hold this full weather vane system into place, just like that. So there you go, that's how that's looking, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Now this is a detail that you don't really see. This was sort of like a wind speed thing. It was sitting on top of the lamp, which wasn't really a lamp in Jaws. This thing here is just an overturned tub. I don't even think it had a bulb in it. It's just hanging that way around. But what we need is just this little thing here first, and a pin. And here is the little pin. It can get lost in the tray, so check around if you can't find yours. All I'm going to do is push this just through the top here, so it comes out the bottom. Now, bringing over this part a bracket which is going to go on the mast. This is actually going to be going in the top just here. Now again, I want this to be able to turn, so I'm just making sure I'm putting glue just on the base of this pin. There you go, and that's in place. Now again, while I've got my glue out, I'm going to be gluing the tabs at the bottom here, which is going to be gluing in this knotter lamp into place. So now that looks like that. And then I'll put some glue just onto the back bracket here, because that's now going to be fitting on this part of the mast. So just push that in. And that looks really good. Okay, one more thing to do. We got part of the winch assembly here, which looks like this. So moving the mast all the way down here, we're going to be putting this into place. It's actually going to be going in to the 2 points you can see just here and here. It does hold itself in quite a lot, but you are going to need to glue that into place just as well. And if I go on the side camera here, I believe that is the mast complete. We've got the lights in, the handle for the winch, the spotlights, the top section weather vanes, looking good. So what we're going to be doing now is building the foredeck lockers, which look like this. And basically I'm going to need the one that says number 1 first, because we've got some parts to put in here. And these are this one here, which is L1, which is going to be fitting in here like this. And then L2, which is just going to be fitting below it like that. Let's line these up. So I've just flipped this over and I'm holding these into place. They're not actually glued in or anything at the moment. They're free to roam about. We've got these hinges on a sprue here to actually cut off. We're going to be putting them in here. So let's get my sprue cutters and I'll cut these off. Now these need to be glued in. So applying some glue here and here and push these into place. So one there and one there, making sure that they're straight. Now once again, on this sprue labelled L1 and L2, we need to cut these off. These are going to be going onto this side here, and we need to glue these into place as well. So as you can see, I'm being a bit generous with the glue. And put one in there. And one in the other side. Perfect. And now this whole thing is going to be fitting onto this base section here. Just over the top like that. Now it's not telling me to glue this in, so I'm not going to glue it in at the moment. It just says fit the assembly. That's exactly what I've done. Okay, couple more parts to put in now. We've got L4, which is going to be going into this point just here, this way round, like that. And then L3 looks like that, which is going to be going just above it, like this here. And then I need these L1 to L3 on a sprue. And these are actually going to fill in the middle holes there. So let's cut these off. And we just match the numbers with where they go on here. That looks good. Look at that. Nice. And by the look of it, we didn't need to glue these because they are held in with screws from the other side. It doesn't make a difference. They're not meant to be opened or anything like that. But 4 screws to hold these in. And these are PWB screws. Nice. And there we go. That's held all of that together. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So what I'm going to do is whiz through this now because we've got to do the other side. So once again, I've got R2 and R1 going into the points just there. Again, hold it in place, turn it over, so that they're going to sit square in there just like that. And we got to cut off the hinges, put some glue on these, and get these into place so I can ensure that they're sitting square in here. While that's drying, I'll get these plates out. And once again, just remove any flashing that I've got. I could sand this, not quicker to do it with a scalpel. Turn this over. And I'll put some glue just in this side, which will enable me to put the plates in here. And then once again, this fits on top of this section here. You don't glue that in. We've just learnt that. As a matter of fact, we learnt that we don't actually glue any of these parts that we're putting in, even though I did in the last stage, because it's all held together with screws. So these go on there like that. And then finally take the plates off of here and then put these in. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then once again these are held in just from the other side with the screws. Now I have to say, I do like how these storage sections open and close. But there you go, that's another one done. That's all there is to do in that stage. So we're now moving on to this tray here, and we're going to be building the trunk cabin roof. And I need this big red piece first, and these black brackets. As a matter of fact, because there's not much in here, I think I'm just going to empty this whole tray. That's better, it's easier for me to manage it this way. Okay, so we want this way round. And what I need to do is put these brackets on in the positions here. Now, and you'll see here that I've got a tab on one of these. One of these hasn't, one of these has. The one with a tab is going to go on this side. So the tab there isn't impeding anything. Get that in. And then the one that hasn't got the tab will be going on this side here. Just like that. Now these are held in with those PWB screws from the other side. And each bracket takes 3. And that's the last one going in there. So that looks like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now something I really do like about this build is that we do get to check the electrics in here. So I've got a test board that they gave us. Just plugging that in here. And I've got these lights here. They're like on a strip. So I'm just going to plug these in and just check these are working okay. So we actually plug them into the end one here. And press that button just here. And as you can see, they're very bright. So they work fine. Let me just check these ones. God, that blinded me, they're so bright. I can't see anything. And again, these work fine as well. Okay, excellent. So what I want now is this section just here. I'm going to want it this way round. I'm going to be putting these into place. So now what's going to happen is these lights are going to go through the holes here. So when I turn this upside down, I just want to make sure they're all lined up in there, which they are. So that can go in there this way round, just like that. Once again, the standard PWB screw seems to be doing everything for this build. I'm going to hold these in with these screws. I need 2 each side. So one here and one the other side. Do exactly the same thing on this side over here, making sure that this is coming off towards the middle there. And I am going to keep my wires just tidy at the moment. I'm not going to unravel them. There's no need to do that yet. I will eventually. And what this is going to do is light the interior cabin, because we can see into that cabin through the portholes here. Now in this bag here we've got some stickers so we can wire these cables up together. All I'm going to do is on these wires here on the left side, I'm going to be putting another number 11 sticker. And on the right side, I'll put a number 12 sticker. Next thing I've got are these brackets here. Number 2 bracket's going to go on this side. Just there. And the number 1 bracket is going to go on this side just here. And again, we've got a place for a PWB screw just down the bottom. So one in there. And one here. We've got space at the top as well for 2 more. And that's that trim line put in. And then I've got the little porthole rims here. Get these off. And I'm going to want to glue these into place here. So they're all in like that. Push these into place. One there, one here, and one here. But there you go, that's all 3 of those in place. We'll just do exactly the same on the other side. I am finding the middle one, you are just going to have to hold just for a little bit, because it is got a slight more bend on it. So, but when they're in, that's how they look on that side. Finally, we've got the windows for these, and now these are covered in protective film again, so I need to take the film off both sides. And I am going to do this because I do want people to be able to see in here. I could leave it on, so again we've got that smoky look, but I'm not going to do that. I'm taking them so they're perfectly clear. And then these are just going to be slotting down into the position there. Now I'm not going to put them in yet. And the reason for that is because I put super glue in these sides around this edge. If I was to put them on there now, that super glue is going to frost them up, which I don't want to do. So I want to make sure that glue is fully dried at all of these points before I put these in. So what I'll do while that's happening is I'll just peel off all the protective layers on both sides. Now I could hold these in with a canopy glue. And all you do is you're going to slide these in just like that. And then, as you can see, we have a porthole window in there. But I'm not actually going to do that on my one at the moment because, as I said, I want to make sure that's perfectly dry. But you know what? With that done, and I'm guessing this is going to go on top just here, that's all there is to do in this stage. Now, what I'm going to do is just gently kind of line this up. I think this goes something like this. I've got no idea. And then, obviously, these that we created would be going on each side. So we'd have one there and we'd have one just over here. That gives you an idea of what we've done today. Oh boy, did I enjoy that. I love this build. Okay, definitely my favourite build, just so you know. There you go. So that's the mast and how that's looking at the moment. Gently put that down. And obviously we've created this full section here, and obviously all of these open as well, just like that. But yeah, brilliant. Once again, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. Also got the QR code on the screen. What's been going on? Apart from the internet going off in Corby, which means I couldn't stream yesterday, I am just back from MCM Comic Con. I've been there since Wednesday last week, so I haven't been home. And then obviously I leave on Tuesday for WonderFest. So today's video was meant to be out tomorrow, and that would be the only video this week. But I am hoping to get some more videos out this week, because otherwise you're going to think I don't exist anymore. But anyway, Saturday there will be the WonderFest video that I do every year, where I'm going around the competition room showing all the models. So be sure to tune in for that. Also, Wednesday night is the very first episode of the one-to-one show on the Agora Models Plus channel. You might want to definitely check that out, because we're interviewing James and Liam and talking about stuff, and you'll have some updated news there. But be sure to subscribe to the Agora Models YouTube channel. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.